Hi guys, it's Jen here with 8.5 by 11 layout today. This is the very first time I have ever made one in this size, so I do struggle a little bit with this, and even though it's a really simple layout, yeah, I have it sped up pretty fast and it's still almost 10 minutes. I personally prefer quite quick videos and a little bit of description, so that's why I try to make my videos fairly short and speed them up if I need to. But please let me know what you guys think, and I just find I don't have enough time to watch things for much longer than about 10 minutes. So anyways, that's my goal. So here I am starting out with a bunch of papers that I've pulled from various kits from the last few months. And they're by all different manufacturers. I don't really care. I just like working with the colors. And when I looked at this photo, I really liked the blue and I wanted to play on that and just pull in a little bit more color, as it was, this is a photo that we took in Hawaii, and it was a bit of a rainy gray day. And so I just thought it would be fun to pull in more colors and make it a little bit brighter because it was for Hawaii. So I used those papers that I've put on the top and the bottom and just pulled the colors from those. And I like this paper right here. It's really fun, and I kind of cut it so that you could see the words at the top, and then I've also going to position it so that you can see the hearts on the left hand side. You can't see them yet, but you will be able to see them. Yeah, so as I said, this is my very first 8.5 by 11, and I have struggled. It's not square page, obviously, and it's a smaller canvas, and so it really took some thinking for me to figure out what I wanted to do here. So, I worked away at it and sort of doing what I typically do, and, it was turning out just fine, but I think just I ended up taking a bit of a break, at a certain point, not too far from now, and walking away and looking at a bunch of other 8.5 by 11 pages, and just sort of, I don't know, making sure I was on the right track, if that makes sense. And I think it was just, thinking about these a little bit differently and keeping it fairly simple and not adding too much. And I think actually a big piece of this was a lot more to do with I had pulled out too many supplies to go with it, rather than keeping it simple, because I had like 4 kits I hadn't used, and I pulled out a whole bunch of different packs of things, and it was just too much. So I find I work better when I just limit what I'm doing and keep it simple. So yeah, that's that was where I was at with this. And I actually went on to the Victoria Marie group and just said, I'm struggling, and people actually helped quite a bit, giving me some hints and tips and ideas, and then just looking on Pinterest and everything helped a lot. So I just built up my layers here, pulling the colors, as I said, from the pieces that I have on the top and the bottom there. And I really wanted to use that capture because I really liked the color, and sort of the whole point of this was we were doing a selfie, and then we were kind of giggling because we were we almost fell backwards into the water and just trying to get it the right way, and just talking to each other. So he ended up snapping it where I wasn't looking at the camera but smiling at him as my husband, and I really just liked how that turned out. And that little flare there says, "But first let me get a selfie." And we actually had tons of people offering to take the photo for us, but I know it's sort of our tradition to take selfies with each other. So so I just really liked this one with us laughing and me looking at him, and I wanted to capture this one, so that's why I wanted to use that title. So this is the point where I had too many things. I had too much stuff, and I was trying things from like 5 different packs, and then I pulled out all these frames because I just wanted to pull a bit more pink over onto that side, and I was getting really frustrated, and it was just like overload of supplies. And this is really one of the reasons why I did a huge destash a few times, and why I like to just pull out minimal supplies and just work with those. And so lesson learned there, that don't pull out too much stuff. You can see there, like I've got like 4 different things going on, and then a pile of different supplies. So way better to pull out minimal supplies. So I'm going to walk away here in a minute because I got super frustrated, and I'm going to come back after I'd thought about it for a while. So here I'm back, and what I did is I basically pulled out, I put away a bunch of the supplies, and I pulled out that love in the script there because I wanted to pull a bit more black in, and then you're going to see this layout go way quicker and be finished because I just needed that time to walk away and think about really what I wanted to do. So I'm gonna put it in the middle, and I'm gonna put the title above and below, and I really like how that turned out. And I'm gonna take that piece of vellum off there because I was gonna use that to layer stuff on, and I still do, but it was too long, and I actually cut the layers behind my photo down a little bit as well. So this is not my most favorite layout ever, but I'm actually very pleased with it as my very first try ever for 8.5 by 11. And the reason why I'm trying the 8.5 by 11 format is because I always put my layouts in between my Project Life spreads, and I'm trying to do my spreads where they're double pages. And so what I wanted to do was have my layouts be a different size than 12 by 12 so that you can see the Project Life on behind it, if that makes sense to you guys. So that's why I'm giving it a try. I mean, I'm not committed to it. If I decide I don't like it, that's okay. I'll just go back to my 12 by 12s. But I wanted to give it a go for a bit and see what happens. So I decided here I want to just basically run everything down the middle of the page, and so I want to put something right there. And I like the idea of the label, but I don't want the black with the black. And I have that Share the Joy chipboard at the top, pulling some black up there, so I decided to pull some blue down to the bottom. And this is just my little container of labels. These are all free print and cut labels that I've gotten off the internet and from various different kit clubs, and I've just cut them all out and stuck them in there so that because I love labels, and then I can use them. So I pulled a little bit of black there onto that corner, and I'm going to use that as a place to land that flare, and then that little 24/7 chipboard piece, just pulling a little bit more pink in, and I pulled more pink in somewhere. Where did it go? Maybe I haven't put it down yet. So I'm going to put the love down, and I'm going to put this down, and then I'm going to put my I'm going to staple these first, but I'm going to put the date on the label on the bottom. So I decided to staple that capture just because with those ones, they really do show the adhesive, and so I didn't want that. So these are Pink Fresh wood veneers. These are super cute with the half wood and half painted. So I put one down in that corner, and then I'm just trying to decide what to do up in this corner. I want to put some embellishment, but not a whole ton. And so what I end up doing is taking this frame, and I just cut it because it's going to be behind, so I can use it on a different layout, and that adds a bit more pink into that corner. I think that balances that out a little bit more, and I kind of decide that's enough. So I just stamped my date down there on the bottom as I said I was going to, and then I'm going to use a little bit of the Black Velvet Heidi Swapp Color Shine, and I make a bit of a mess with this. Yes, I do. Oh well, that happens, right? Oh, I'm going to add a couple more hearts here. So I'm going to add another one of, you know what, I'm going to watch. So I put that pink one, and then I'm going to put another one off of this chipboard, and I think I might leave it there, shopping that one around. And it lost its backing, so it's going to go right there. So I think I end up with 3. I don't have it in front of me because I left it upstairs after I did photos. So here, I wasn't liking how that splattered, and then it made a big mess. That's okay though. That happens. So I have some close-ups coming up for you here, and there you go. So you can see that big black splotch on the C of the capture. I might move that gold heart over so that you can't see it quite so much. But thanks you guys for coming on the journey with me on this very first 8.5 by 11, and I'll be back again next week with another Project Life layout. Thanks guys. Bye now.